count us in like TV.
Okay, 6:30. Arts and Culture Commission meeting will be called to order. Jordyn, could you please do the roll call?
Yes, Carey Nadeau, Ashley Perfect,
Here.
Sharon Clark Williams,
Here.
Laura Strang,
Here.
Raquel Soto is absent. Sorry, Aliza Verma, and then Tom Sonnek is absent. And then Yued Orozco-Garcia is absent, and then Troy Woods.
Here.
And Jordyn Lehman is here, so we are set. Any comments or edits on the agenda? If not, we can get a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Awesome. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, then we have 2 rounds of minutes to approve because we weren't at quorum last month. Any edits or changes on the minutes? Let's do March 4th first.
No, I looked at those before, and I don't have any comment.
Okay. If no comments, could we get a motion to approve
Motion to approve?
and a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, great job on the minutes as usual, Jordyn. Now we've got the minutes from April 1st. I think the only thing, okay, in the adjournment, it said that I asked for a motion, but didn't we learn from the lawyer guy that we can just adjourn per Robert's rules? We don't have to ask for an adjournment.
Correct.
Okay, so I think I just adjourned it. I don't think we motioned for it. But I guess I don't know how to write that. Maybe it's just fine to adjourn it. I don't know. Whatever. That's my only comment. I don't know if it really matters. It probably doesn't. Any other edits or thoughts or comments about the minutes?
No,
All right.
you look good. I guess you're waiting for me. A motion to approve the minutes from April 1st,
Great.
2026.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Yay! 2 rounds of minutes approved. Great job, Jordyn. Meeting open to the public. Oh, we have a person here. It's amazing. You're the first person, I think. Thank you for being here.
So I am Eugenia Meltzer, call me Jeannie. I live here in North St. Paul, and I have been a member of a symphony orchestra, and I've been driving to Cottage Grove and driving to Woodbury, but they decided to move to North St. Paul. This is a big orchestra. This used to be the 3M Orchestra.
Oh.
And if you take the 3 and turn it, it becomes an E. And so we are the East Metro Symphony Orchestra. We're about 80 people. The wind section is fabulous. We just, we play at St. Mark's, we rehearse at St. Mark's, and we have been there since January. And we have quite a following here in North St. Paul. I don't know if you've ever been to any of our concerts, but I thought I'd better get to know this commission, and you guys get to know us and invite you to our next concert, which is the 17th,
Oh, nice.
St. Mark's at 3. And I appreciate any guidance on advertising. I have posters. We did our last Christmas concert at the high school because we've outgrown St. Mark's. And I'm always looking for venues. Now we're rebuilding St. Mark's so we can have 400 or 500 instead of the 300 it holds. So we're moving ourselves to the back of the church. Anyway,
You too. I bet the strings sound really good in there.
they're very kind to us. You know, we store all the timpani and all the harps and stuff. So anyway, we're playing Brahms. It's going to be fun. Can I give you my card? Would you like my phone number?
Yeah.
And would you please invite me to more meetings? I apologize for tonight because tonight is our May board meeting, which is a budget meeting. And it started at 6:30, and I'm a VP, so I got to get there.
Oh, yeah, you're good.
So if I can repeat that, you're the East Metro Orchestra, formerly the 3M Orchestra, on May 17th at 3 in the afternoon. You're going to be performing at St. Mark's Lutheran Church across from North High School, correct?
Correct,
Okay.
correct. And I will leave you a couple posters,
Okay.
okay? I will leave you several business cards.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you so much.
Great.
Yeah, and
Anyway, thank you so much for being so quick.
You're good, you're good. Thank you.
Thanks,
Good luck
Jamie.
at the meeting.
Yeah,
Good luck with your budgets.
welcome to North St. Paul.
Yeah, well,
And you live in North St. Paul?
Yes, I'm over across from the lake.
Okay.
oh, lovely. Nice.
We have had several smaller groups that we do chamber music, and my house is big, and it's just, we've been rehearsing in my house. So, anyway, I'll tell you more later.
thanks, Jane.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, that's so fun. You got a person. Well, hearings, do we have anything for that? All right, commission business, subcommittee updates. I can't find the list of, I wish I had it on my computer, so I'm sorry I don't have the list of subcommittees. guess
I
I'll
can't-
go by memory. Mural project. Tom talked to the VFW guy, who sounds interested in doing a mural, and that's as far as I got, so more to come about that. Anything else, Sharon?
Okay, so I have been doing some work on the concept of making a marker for the 45th parallel. The best location seems to be the Southwood Nature Preserve. My husband and I went out and took longitude and latitude readings around North St. Paul, and the 45th latitude goes directly through Southwood Nature Preserve, maybe, I don't know, 30 yards after you enter the park. My question for you, Jordyn, is before I get into deep with this, is this something that has to be presented to the Park Commission and get their approval to put a marker in North St. Paul Park?
That is something that maybe I would discuss. I'll discuss with Sarah. If for anyone who doesn't know, she's the Parks Commission staff liaison. I think for something like that Silver Lake utility box, we were having this discussion, and her thoughts was that she would just kind of report that to the commission to let them know that's a thing, and they're very open and love having art in the park. So that might be ends up what ends up happening instead of just a full-blown presentation. But I'd have to double check with her. She is out this week, but I will hopefully be able to get you an answer on early next week.
Okay. And if everybody wants to know just a little bit more about what I've been doing, like I said, we walked around, and there were some really close locations, like at Hosey Park, at the Snowy, and kind of the center of town, so to speak, right where the main intersection is there at Margaret Street. So, but after looking at it, it looked like the Southwood Nature Preserve would be the best place right now, so it can be known. The tentative wording for the plaque or monument would be like this: boulder or monument marks the 45°00 north and 92.59 degrees west, a point exactly halfway between the equator and the North Pole, placed by the City of North St. Paul Arts and Culture Commission 2026. I was also wanted to consider, and this may be something for you to discuss with Sarah, and then you can get back to me if this is something we need to talk to the Park Commission about. I think it would be good to have a wording for interpretive sign, because I think people might not know the significance of those few words, and to have something more explanatory and some sample languages. At this location, you stand on the 45th parallel north, one of the major circles of latitude used in geography and navigation. North St. Paul is part of a small group of cities worldwide that lies precisely halfway between the equator and the North Pole. From this point, both the equator and the North Pole are approximately 3,107 miles away. And the map have like a little, you can't see it on my computer, but I have just like a little outline of Minnesota, and it shows where the 45th parallel crosses our state, and then there would be like a circle on the other side representing the world, so people could see, well, what is a longitude, and it would mark the equator, the North and South Pole, and 45 degrees north, 45 degrees south, so they could visualize what that monument is, why it's significant, because I'm not sure that everyone necessarily is into geography and knows that.
I did not know that until right now, so thank you for that explanation.
Oh yeah, I definitely think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Could you send me that like in a written form, like email or with the proposal
Yep, I'm
form?
literally reading off the document.
Oh,
I'm going to
perfect.
send to you.
Perfect.
And so, and then the other thing to let you know about it, I don't have pricing, but the things that I've looked into, as anybody who's talked to me knows, obelisk is my number one choice for the shape. And if you don't know what that is, that's the shape of the Washington Monument. And that could be in granite or it could be poured cement and with a plaque. The fallback position always is a rock with a plaque. I haven't gone pricing and all that stuff because, like I said, I don't want to get ahead on my skis until we know how the Parks Commission feels about everything. But those were the things that I was considering, those three possible designs, and with a plaque and so on and so forth.
I love it. And
That's
you know,
neat.
when you were saying having kind of that description on there, especially with the obelisk shape, I was thinking like peace poles, how they have different languages. I don't know if it would ruin your obelisk idea to put translation.
No, because it has sides.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
So,
Anyway,
but that is just the starting point where I'm at. And like I said, I want to get outside input before we get too far down the road, before I contact people and they think, oh my gosh, we're working with the city of North St. Paul, and then nothing happens.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hype anybody, and then it's not necessarily the best idea for the city. So this is where I am going to send all this stuff to you.
Perfect.
this is so cool, Sharon.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome.
No, really, I just think it's great. And I like that you're not going rock. Roseville has a rock. It's so boring.
Everybody does. No one has an obelisk, okay? So there's not one that I could find going around the whole world. I thought we could get the cool one.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Perfect.
Great idea. Love it.
Thanks so much for doing all that.
Yep.
Utility boxes.
Okay, so here I am again. So we're moving forward. We have gotten responses, I am not sure how many yet, to the photography one, which will be the one on 19th and, is it Lake? Is that the?
I believe so, yeah.
Right by the tennis courts. Okay, and so it's a nice, big, beautiful box. We're going with photography. It's going to be a great idea because it'll blend right into the concept of the park and enjoying nature and all of that. And it closes today.
Yep.
It's closed today. Is the last day you can send in your photographs. So hopefully we got a few in, and
Yes, I believe we got 5 applications total, so.
That's good.
okay, I think that's fantastic, so I'm very excited. Now Jordyn is going to explain, and we have to take a vote on the.
Yes,
we have to take a
vote
tonight.
to approve the expenditure of $3,500 total for that wrap. 3,000 is just for the wrap, and then 500 is for the artist stipend. I guess, I don't think I can make a motion.
Motion to approve whatever Sharon needs, which it sounds like is 3,500.
I second.
All those in favor?
I.
Opposed? I forgot I had to do that. Sorry, Jordan. Okay, we did it.
Okay, now Jordyn, go on and explain the photography.
Right. So it's come to my attention that when doing, like, the best practice while doing call for artists would be kind of have the commission review and discuss applications during meetings. So kind of how my understanding of this is that the subcommittee's function to the commission be kind of similar to what the commission is to the council, which is like you're putting forth a recommendation, not making like a universal decision. So,
With what?
The best practice. I mean, sure, it's best practice, but I think if we're saying, hey, Sharon, you take charge of this project, I am giving my implicit trust in Sharon, knowing that she knows how to choose a quality artist. Like, I guess I don't understand why it has to come to everybody to talk about. It feels like that just bogs it down a little bit more.
it's more of like, it would be best practice at the whole commission, especially for higher priced items, to kind of have input or the opportunity to give input instead of just a few individuals. I think truly if the commission wants to not do that, that's one thing. I think it's just I'm bringing this up just as, an awareness and like, yeah. And so, and like, for example, like if there's 10 to 15 applicants, it's not like we're expecting everyone to review all of them.
Sure.
The subcommittee would review it, be like, you know what, we think this group of 3 to 5 is the best, or, would have these good qualities.
Yeah.
The commission reviews it, gives their input, and then, kind of right then and there, we can get a vote to, make a motion to recommend that this is the one that we're gonna go for.
I feel like, and I'm sorry, I know I'm always like dragging us down with the history of the commission. But, we've done it both ways. We've done, when we did the initial mural on Silver Lake, we brought all those applications forward and had everyone review everything and vote on it and whatever. When we did the Snowies, that was a lot, and I think just Amanda and the rest of the committee said, hey, this is what we're thinking, sound good? And we're all like, yep, sounds great. So I feel like we've done it both ways, and I guess I don't have a huge horse in the race, but it feels like Troy has something to say.
No, I was waiting on one thing.
I know, I kind of lost where I was.
I guess I would equate this to, so right now the city is going through equate it to like an RFP, like you're doing for a vendor for anything.
Yep.
Right now the city is going through one for solid waste removal, for a garbage company. There was a committee put together of representatives from city council, from the city employees, from different departments, reviewing all 7 or 8 applicants or RFPs that came in. Narrowed it down to 2, and then they brought those 2, or bringing those 2 to us to say, hey, here's option 1, option 2. What do you guys think? And so I would think it's like that, just for the sheer fact of they can filter out like and then bring you like the best options. But then it's also, everybody has their ability to kind of weigh in on, well, I really like this. And it also, not that anybody here would do this, but it also avoids that conflict of interest. Like, usually the person that Sharon picks is like a really close friend of hers, because everybody has some involvement in arts or culture within the community.
Yeah.
And there's no outside concern that, oh, this person that Sharon picked is, a good friend of hers, or somebody that she's worked with personally, and she's, there's some kind of kid, like I said, not that there would, it avoids that conflict
I'm
of
sure
interest.
Sharon would recuse herself if that. I get your point.
I
And,
agree.
having been in the arts as long as I have, maybe that's my bias, but,
I kind of like Troy's idea because one, like, I know we each do our own work on our subcommittees and things like that, but like for me on the autumn arts, like sure, me and Tom will work together and give you guys updates, but like if we have ideas, it's great to come back to the group and say, hey, we had this idea, what's your feedback and things like that. And it also kind of prevents like people wanting to join every subcommittee to have a say or like a vote and things like that. But I also, Carey, to your point, like you don't want to, everything's going to take 27 million years. So I feel like Troy's approach is a good, have the subcommittees, have their ideas and things like that. And I think it's also cool, if Sharon has an idea and she's like, here's 3, but I really like this one. I don't think there's a problem, like, saying what your recommendation is, because we do trust each other on that,
and we're
so.
representing our community, right?
Yep.
So as a member of our community and as a resident of North St. Paul, we should be able to do that. So, but I derailed your conversation, Jordyn, I'm sorry.
No, I mean, that was essentially the gist of it is, from my understanding, just for transparency, so the public can see, here are some of the options that we have. And, so there's, I guess, just really good opportunity for discussion. And if there's dissent or, I guess I don't know what the opposite of dissent is, assent, agreement, you know, it's all kind of on a public forum. You know, people have that opportunity to say something. The intent isn't to bog things down. For this particular utility box, unfortunately, it will kind of do that because I wasn't when I made the deadlines, I wasn't thinking in relation to the meeting because this was not on my radar. I think there's ways to avoid that so that, you know, ideally, if this ended yesterday and I realized this earlier, I could have sent this to the subcommittee. They would have had time to, you know, review it, and then we could bring it today and, you know, vote on it. But then this didn't come till later, but yeah, that's kind of the gist of.
Well, I'm happy if Sharon wants to go through the applicants and just recommend your top pick. And can we do that by email? Does it have to be?
I would have to ask like Ken or somebody about that, just, you know, kind of like the best, I guess, practices and transparency's sake.
I think, you know, in that it's the first week of June, I think this is the earliest we've managed to, I've been able to get launched out the gate, so I feel like we still got plenty of time.
All right, I'll stop pushing.
But no, it's okay. But I don't mind having more conversation publicly. That's why I brought all of that stuff instead of just emailing it to you, read it out loud, so people can't say like, what? We're doing a 45th parallel. They heard what the concept is. It's out there. It's on record. It's going to live forever, unfortunately, on YouTube, of me reading that. And so, I mean, I'm okay with that, of being a little more vocal about what we're doing, a little more transparent. But I also appreciate the bogged downness. I mean, because we have such a short window of actual action, but I think when it's possible, the more we can bring to the meeting and let the community hear about it in advance, the best. But my one concern with this whole public, we're looking at submissions, is are we going to be legit about what we think artistically? Because let's just pretend somebody sent a photograph of a duck. I do not know. I have not seen the submissions yet, so please don't anyone get upset. Let's just pretend it was a duck. And one or more of us look at it and go like, oh, you gotta be kidding. Or something that should not be said out loud. I'm not saying we're not professional, we are. But maybe I'd go into an in-depth artistic critique of it. Is that fair to the people who are submitting it if I'm sitting here going, well, the composition is this, and while this vaguely reminds me of this, but I have seen this before, and nobody wants to hear their art picked apart publicly like that. So there's going to have to be a time outside of this meeting where we can have those sorts of conversations and, you know, where we can say, hey, I recognize this, or without accusing somebody publicly of plagiarism and that sort of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
Yeah, that is the hard part about meeting once a month.
Yeah.
And then also adhering to Robert's rule of law, or
Yeah.
rule of order, that you can't have, you know, side conversations that involve more than a quorum and things like that too, so.
And
Well,
subjectiveness
I would-
of art.
But that's why we have the subcommittees is to try to, you know, avoid that.
I have a new girl question. So, in other commissions, not necessarily recommending more meetings, but to meet the public requirement, I've had commissions that had our public meeting on camera once a month, and then if needed, do like a workshop, but it's not necessarily on camera, but it's still public record. So it might kind of be the best of both worlds. It's not a subcommittee, but it's still public record. And you have the minutes, but, you know, you record the minutes accurately, but not every minute detail. So if we do have feedback of the art, it's not necessarily it's still public, like people can still come. But that, I don't know if that's something that's available or not. What the commission
That's
thinks.
a little difficult. We have two new mothers.
Sure.
And I just,
Thank you, Sharon.
as a mother of four, I don't know how that would
Okay.
really work out. And when I say new, I mean, we're talking can't sit up new.
Yeah, got it.
We miss you, Raquel. But I love the idea of workshops. I just still feel like if it is then open to the public, those artists could show up that really want us to pick their art, and then we could feel some kind of obligation to choose them or to not be honest with our opinions. And I mean, this is why we set the subcommittees. It's not to limit the opinions of the rest of us, because I mean, we value your opinions, but it's just to keep it moving forward with as much respect and dignity to those artists as possible. I am a sensitive artist, so I wouldn't take it well.
I think these are all super valid concerns that are great things to think about that I'm definitely going to be bringing back to Ken and discussing,
Yeah.
you know, with, you know, because I think, yeah, these are all very,
Because I know certain, like, contract negotiations, you're not required to do things in the public, so I don't know if this would follow under something like that. Might be a question to ask, too, if you can get an answer for that.
yeah, for sure.
But we do keep it public as to costs, what's happening, and so there's.
project is.
And what
Yeah.
the projects are, yeah, there's,
That's quite transparent.
right. We're not- And, yeah, and obviously, the call for artists is always very public, so it's not a surprise.
Yeah, because Laura, you had a good point as far as the artist just like, so, staring you down.
Taking mine.
Please take mine.
I remember we did have a rubric at one point, and Tom looked at me and he's like, so we're gonna go through all of these submissions and score them according to this rubric? Like, that just sounds very,
Too methodical and not
yeah, and it takes all of
passion
the
and,
art out of it, and then the whole piece of like critiquing an artist right in front of their face and on public YouTube forever, it's just, anyway.
Because you know I'm gonna wander down that path.
Yeah.
Heard me before. Gotta bring my art history background into it.
Okay, so it sounds like we had a really good discussion. Utility boxes, we did the motion, right? That's approved, so Sharon has the 3,500 to do what she needs for the utility boxes. Moving forward, it sounds like, we'll have the subcommittees kind of look at and maybe rank and then present to the group? Or-
Yeah, I will discuss with Ken. It'll be kind of priority on my list and like hopefully send out an email. Well, I will do my best to send out an email update before the next meeting to see kind of where we're going with this. Because, yeah, like I said, you guys brought up some really valid concerns that we hadn't thought about. So,
Because ultimately what it sounds like he wants is for us to have a public vote on the final choice of artists. Is that correct?
yeah, pretty,
To
yeah.
be transparent.
Yeah.
Have everyone see that we have all
Mhm.
unanimously agreed on one artist. So I think that's doable. Okay.
or even a private vote. I mean, if it's still city email,
Yeah.
you know, then we could
Yeah, if that's
get that
allowable.
approval, yeah.
Yeah.
Just so everyone has seen it and has a say, even if that part is not,
Right.
if only the final is public, but.
Because I know I'm not real thrilled about the, what is that system that they have to apply in, Jordan? It's not Civic Rec, it's,
OpenGov.
what is it?
OpenGov.
Oh, God, I hate that so much.
It's a
And,
challenge.
It is, isn't it?
It's a challenge.
I just really think it's prohibitive for people who may be neurodivergent, and it's slightly concerning. But, why did I bring that up? Well, I'm sure there was a point in there at some point. Anyway,
Well, I do have a question about
Yeah.
utility boxes. So is there anything stopping the heart hands?
I think that's just weather. Honestly, it's been kind of unusually cold recently. I think they were saying like 60 to 70s like consistently. I know we'll get some days here or there, but I don't know if we've had like where they, I guess, have it on their schedule and have time to go out there and such. But I think it's really just waiting for it to get a little bit warmer.
Okay, because for some reason I was thinking last year it just had to be above 45. So that's why in my mind it was like, this needs to be done, because we're like
Inside
so
water.
over. Oh my God. Just like, it's gotta be there. But yeah, I'll settle down. But I just wanted to know if like we had to approve that money again, or
Nope.
if it's just waiting.
Yeah.
So is there something I need to do for
Nope.
scheduling?
Nope. It's all, they have all the stuff and essentially just kind of waiting for, yeah, that weather to cooperate.
Okay,
Yay.
perfect.
I'm pretty chilly.
Thank you.
Very cold.
I remember. So is OpenGov, does that mean that everyone can see every application?
What do you mean by everyone, I
I
guess?
guess is that a publicly available resource to see who applied?
No, not necessarily. I guess people have data requests, but like our work emails, like if people have data requests, they can still get access to that, but they can't just, it's more that other staff can see it.
Yeah.
So if I'm gone or, you know, something happens and, you know, someday I might leave, you know, and so other people can see, and versus me right now, like other staff liaisons, like what they've done, I can't see that. And it would be incredibly helpful, especially with how much turnover there was here. I mean, the greatest gift that I've had is having Sarah right behind me to talk to about. So, but there's just, it'd be a lot more knowledge transfer that will be able to stay between staff, between other admins. Like if I'm gone, like they are able to keep up with it versus like email, they can't get into my email. So it makes it a lot harder on that front.
Okay, thanks for clearing that up for me. Art night, art cart. Tomorrow night, candles. We tried to have our cookie night. That didn't quite work, so we rescheduled that to May 21st. So that'll be happening. I'm very excited. And then I think we break for summer, right? Mm-hmm. All right, good. Any art cart things? Did all of the music and the park stuff get worked out? I'm sorry, I've never done that.
I asked Jordyn that before the meeting. So yeah, Raquel wasn't sure if the new cart was ready to be dropped off for 522, and Jordyn said it should be. So I just have to pick up the key sometime that week. And then I believe it's a Friday the 22nd is the first one. So we'll be there to set up, and
Brilliant.
yeah, it should be fun.
I'm excited.
Yeah, hopefully cross fingers for good weather.
Yeah. I'm excited. Cool.
And I do have a Autumn Arts Festival update.
Oh, yeah, let's go to that then.
So Ava sent out the submission for artists for the Autumn Arts Festival. She sent Tom and I an email today. So we have a lot of different acts booked. They've got music from the Andes, a mariachi band, Chinese chopstick dance, a percussionist, and Polar Drift is going to be performing in 2 different groups, which is exciting. We're going to have face painting, airbrush tattoos, and the caricature again. And then kind of things still left to be done is book the food trucks. Looks like we have 35 confirmed artists so far. And Tom, Ava, and I need to work on the event mapping because we're having it at that new location downtown. One thing I wanted to bring to the commission is potentially for this year, probably more next year. I tossed the idea to Tom and Ava about doing like sidewalk chalk art because that's like when I think of fall festivals, that's something I know kind of draws crowds. Tom and I are good with it. Ava liked the idea as well. But asking you guys if you know, do we have anybody that we want to like know to do that, or should we just ask Ava to kind of do an open call for that as well?
Are you thinking it being just like one like artist doing something to like display, or is it like an open invitational for folks? Like
It would be something they would sign up for. Usually when I've seen events like this before, it's a certain number and they get, marked out squares and they can kind of do what they want. Obviously, we would need to pay attention and we haven't really gone deep into the discussion on, how many or, what are the parameters, do they need to submit things and things like that. I loosely tossed it out of like, hey, maybe for next year. And Ava was like, well, we can get it this year. But yeah, I'll ask Ava and Tom some more details. It might be something that we kind of kick around a little bit. It might be next year just to make sure we fully fleshed it out. But wanted to run it past you guys if you knew anybody, because that was Ava's first question, is if we knew anybody. But yeah, we're excited about the new location. Yeah, so it'll be downtown, and Ava's done some really good work kind of thinking about ways to partner with the businesses downtown and drive some business to our downtown area, so exciting.
I just want to bring up the spoken word event again, and how our subcommission will partner with you guys to get the spoken word involved in the Autumn Arts Festival.
Okay, great.
So I
do apologize. I wish I sent an email earlier. I did talk to Ava, kind of touch base with her on this again. And I know we were the ones that kind of put forth the Autumn Arts Festival. We're also afraid of that event kind of being a bit too noisy because there's going to be performances. It's going to be downtown. There's going to be food trucks. We're not 100% confident that there'll be a space that the poetry slam won't get drowned out. I wanted to offer potentially, we haven't talked to them, but Flyby Coffee as potential venue, since they do coffee with the council, it'd be a similar sort of thing. I wanted to bring that up just because we're also kind of somewhat concerned with Autumn Arts, and also the space is turning out to be a little bit less than we thought. Yeah, so I do apologize. This was kind of something that came up recently, and we were just really kind of thinking about it. And now that this festival is taking shape, we're getting really concerned as to, you know, how much noise and sound is going to be there, and kind of having these competing things.
Question, oh, go ahead, Laura. Question would be like, we have like all these performances. Could we have time blocked for spoken word as something integrated into the performances, since it is a performance art as is?
That would be an Ava question. I can definitely bring it to her to have her reach out to you guys. Yeah, I would. Yep.
Yeah.
I would have to ask her.
I have the timeline so far, as far as, it looks like we've got performances, she has them 1 hour, it looks like, starting at 11, and then, you know, basically from 11 to 5, we have somebody. So the order that I read them, the only person that has the 2-hour block is Polar Drift, so basically it's the Andy's music, mariachi band, the dance, percussionist, and then Polar Drift on that, so.
Well, with that, which I'm very excited, because that's a great lineup.
Yeah.
But with that, there's always setup and tear down time and resting, because if they're singing, they're resting, if they're dancing, they're resting. So there's always some kind of downtime where we just, in the past, have played the boombox or whatever. There's stereo's been playing. So in that 15-minute block, I mean, could we not have like 3 showdowns or whatever we want to call it, but in those 15-minute blocks at some point, or?
With discussing with Ava, it sounds like those blocks have shortened dramatically since there's the festival is going on for an hour less. So we're working with like a whole hour. That kind of downtime she's noticed is starting to like erode. So she was kind of concerned about, you know, how people would have time to, you know, switch from performance from performance to performance.
Yeah, with the spoken word, with that alternate venue, where, like, what is your dream of kind of like the spoken word event?
The whole purpose behind it was to find an event that anyone could participate in, but as I said before, it's not going to be a poetry slam, which is spontaneous. They can just come up and speak. We can't really have that in a government-backed event because we have literally no idea what they're going to say. So the idea was that they would submit a recording of themselves so we know what they're going to say. And assuming like we had a bunch of people, we would select a certain number and then they would present. And it could be anyone from kindergarten, anybody could speak up until any age. So it wasn't directed at high schoolers or
Right.
20-year-olds or whatever. Anyone could come up and speak whatever they wanted to speak about.
Yeah.
Didn't they just do one at Maplewood Mall or something? Wasn't there just a spoken word competition somewhere locally? I need to pay better attention.
And Flyby Coffee is lovely, but it's, that's where our subcommittee meets. So we're in there often, but it's small and narrow, and so it would not, it would lend itself to hearing, of course, that spoken word, but it would not lend itself to having people witness it. So there's just not a lot of space to sit or get a wheelchair in, or, it's just, it would be limiting. So.
And part of me kind of wishes that we still had that Casey Lake building at the Autumn Arts, because I feel like this would solve so many things, because it's that enclosed space. You've got speakers in there, all these things. Another option would be to have it potentially as a standalone event at that building. Or these are just things that we're trying to throw out. As staff, we really do like this idea. We think it's a great idea. It's just we're struggling. We're finding these things that it's like we don't want it to, end up just kind of getting drowned out and competing with these other events, or like the performances at the other events and, all the noise that is there. At least that's just the concerns that we have currently with it.
I think it's worth consideration of how can we integrate it. I don't think that's off the table, and if we can have Ava kind of revisit that idea of like a solution to do that, because I also agree, I love flyby coffee, but it is not a really good space for us to, even if it was on the same day, the same time, people wouldn't really be able to come in and listen, so that would be a concern.
Yeah, it's not a coffee shop like where you'd have like a guitar player type of venue. It's much smaller than that.
Yeah.
So more intimate.
They had Polar Drift smash into the patio at Max and play there. I mean, if they could get an entire band in there, maybe they could do something.
That would help with sound.
Across the street from the parking lot where
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good
Do
point.
we know which direction the speakers are gonna point?
don't know the layout.
Yeah, we haven't done the map yet.
Well,
My
maybe
hunch
this
is the stage would be set up, trying to think my directions, on the east side of the parking lot, so facing west.
Okay, facing towards Max, okay.
That is my hunch, but I could be wrong.
Do the people that own K&J, are they still around?
Yes, they were actually at the, not the last city council meeting, but the first one of the month,
Can we talk to them about using their building
potentially.
for a day rate?
Potentially.
I don't know, just thinking, just brainstorming.
But yes, I can definitely bring this to Ava, see what we can do, kind of see, bring back, tell her like, where you guys are at with the spoken word event, and I can give an update to the subcommittee once I talk to her.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't think we would say no to a standalone event at Casey Lake either. I mean, we want it to go. I mean, I think it would be lovely for the people that have the courage to speak in public to be able to do that, so.
Maybe we should just do it as an art night.
Maybe I'm like, part of me thinks like the idea of doing the spoken word is the idea of it being in a place to, one, not only showcase these great artists, but also to have folks who might not regularly go to listen to poetry, to be like exposed to it in a way that is organic. So I think, I also agree Casey Lake is beautiful. I think we could make it something special, but I would think if we could prioritize looking into integration into something bigger, like,
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine that the first event would be a large number of presenters, just because, given the size of North St. Paul, it's just everything takes time to grow. Like even the Autumn Arts Festival has taken time to become what it is. So I agree with Aliza that it's something that for now would have to be integrated because it's not a known event within the community that, oh, North St. Paul is known for this giant spoken word event. It's something that needs time to develop.
Yeah, I will definitely have some discussions and let you know what happens. Yeah.
Thanks, Jordan.
thanks, Jordan.
Awesome, okay, Autumn Arts Mural, Public Art Project, Penny Press, right?
Hey.
Woohoo!
Jordan, thank you so much for getting these. That was a flurry of emails when we did that, but I really love these proofs. Oh my God, the snowman face is hilarious. Any input on these penny designs?
They turned out great.
I like how they've got the little penny size in the corner.
That's helpful.
And the history cruisers approved the version. I don't know, Henry Castle looks too like heated rivalry, you know? I need more gray in here.
Are you saying he looks better on his penny?
He looks better on his.
I feel like Henry Castle, I come from North St. Paul.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, gosh.
All right, any
He does look ruggedly handsome.
He does, he's a little.
Yes.
Oh, Sharon, you gotta come to all my meetings. Okay. Do we need to vote on approving these, or?
I think we should.
Or do we need to vote on approving these? Or? Or do we need to vote on approving these? Or? Or do we need to vote on approving these? Or? Or do we need to vote on approving these? Or? Or do we need to vote on approving these? Or?
I don't think so, since I think we already voted on like the concept of it all, but
Okay.
I think kind of just sounds like it's pretty unanimous with everyone who's here. But yeah, I think tomorrow I'll give them an email and let them know we're good to go. So
Oh my God, that's so exciting.
I think it'll take a little while for it to be in production and, you know, for them to get the thing built. But yeah, that's green light.
Yay, wonderful.
I love it. Excellent. We're gonna show you these pennies once we're done with this meeting, so you can see. Yes. All right. Is that everything on our subcommittee updates? I think so, but if I left anything, oh my God, and then we're gonna talk about budget. Okay.
Ooh.
So, I know we've got a little bit of time. It's not June, it's July, right? We have to have the budget.
Yeah, beginning of July.
So if we look at our, I just wanted to start getting the juices flowing on this. I know it takes me a couple meetings to get stuff in my head. Not saying that that's for everyone, just for me. But looking at what we had for 2026. So we've got 7,000 for utility box wraps, 500 for art cart, 12,500 for mural project, 5,000 for public art, 1,000 for branding. And I think we went a little bit over on the public art because the penny press was higher than we had in our budget for this year, but I don't think we're going to spend everything on our mural project. So I feel like that worked out. Any other thoughts or suggestions for adjusting the budget for 2027?
One thing is the art cart, the new one. I don't know if you guys have any plans on editing it or like, you know, rewrapping it, painting it. Honestly, that might be able to be its own subcommittee all by itself, just getting that revamped to be stylized for the commission. I think that's something like worthwhile to consider for the art cart budget, just because it would kind of increase it. Also for the art cart budget, I know it's kind of hard to say because it hasn't happened yet, but if the commission is going to continue doing hired artists for that, because that current $500 I could imagine might go pretty quickly, especially if supplies are needed. Those are some of the things for that specific one that I was wanting to put on your guys' radar.
I love that. Great points, Jordan. And we still have to decide or finalize our thoughts on an art event for the Autumn Arts Festival, right?
Yes.
And so we talked to the art scraps people, and I can't remember what she said for her quote.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
I'll look at that before our next meeting. But I think we should go for it, because we're so stretched at that day. I think hiring someone to help is worth it.
And Sharon, are you comfortable if I talk about one of our ideas from our subcommittee meeting? You would have been there, but sorry. Just the art show question.
Oh, yeah.
So with an idea of kind of having like an art show or art gallery where we have kids' art displayed, is it a possibility to maybe use the current community center space to display that for an evening or a weekend, depending on how big it could get? Or is there a way that we could build into the budget to just rent a space for a night, or what could that look like as a possibility?
I'd have to get back to you on the community center thing. My gut is saying that it's not really open for the public. Like, it's not, I don't want to say safe, but just like not, I guess, approved for public use at the current moment. I think that maybe that sounds right. So I think the community center is out. If we're talking about budgeting for next year for this kind of thing, yeah, I definitely think that could be something that we can do. But yeah, so trying to think if there's any other spaces. I mean, like, obviously Casey, but it sounds like maybe you want something a little bit bigger, potentially. But yeah, there's a lot of different options to explore. But yeah, I think that's definitely something worthwhile to put in the budget for next year.
So if we were gonna look into that, how do we find out what it would cost? Like, if we were gonna look at renting a space, I mean, would I go through you, or like, are you gonna suggest spaces? Like, I wanna help it move forward by our budget time, so that we can make it a good event and draw multi-generational.
I think maybe gathering some estimates on like what size building you're thinking or space, and just get estimates on like kind of how much that would be. Doesn't have to be an exact thing. because I think that would probably be the only cost to this, it sounds like. Again, since it's kind of something new, you know, probably want to over budget a little bit. But yeah, just, it doesn't have to be an exact, but I think finding spaces and, you know, what they cost and a general idea would probably be enough.
Okay, and what bucket would you want that in? Would you want it in public art or art night?
I mean, it kind of sounds like a public art thing to me, at least. But yeah, that's kind of where my initial feeling is.
How this event kind of works, we had discussed, I had gone to one of these when I was in California, in the hotel where I stayed. I came down, and all of a sudden, I saw easels going up. And then I went back upstairs, I came back down, and it was filled with children showing their art. It was like a pop-up art show. It was only for one evening and only for a few hours, but all the parents came and members of the public, and of course, everybody who was in the hotel saw it. And I thought it was a great event. The kids were great. They stood by their little easels. I mean, some of them were big kids, and so the art was just incredible. And you could ask them about their art, and they would explain, you know, I drew a duck, I like ducks, you know, and the older kids, you know, had obviously more complicated responses about what inspired them. But I thought that would be so cool. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be limited to children. It could be anybody in the community, you know, however we see this evolve. But the idea is to give people in the community one night, a couple of hours, let's see your best.
I do love that it could be any age, truly, because I just I lost a resident. One of my dear residents passed away recently, and I went to his funeral. And I didn't know, because I only see one snapshot of the person by the time they come to me, that he was a beautiful painter. I didn't know what he could do, and his art was on display in his funeral, and it was so lovely and touching. And so, I mean, I love that too, that we could have kids being inspired by seniors and vice versa. And so, yeah, it would be a really fun and exciting thing that I think would also enrich kind of our community. So.
Right.
And then am I also able to get like a write-up? No, it doesn't have to be a full proposal form, just like kind of your initial thoughts, like in an email, just so I have something like written to reference for myself.
I think this is a lovely idea. Yeah. I've seen them before, not pop-up style, but like where communities have had like kids' arts or just art shows, and they're always really fun. It's a great way to bring people together.
In Rochester, if you go by the library in Rochester, Minnesota, you can see the artwork of local artists and of all ages are in these glass cases when you walk down the hall to get to the library. So
That's great.
it's another thing that I've seen.
Would the library be a place to consider?
It's a little small, unfortunate, like maybe.
Bathrooms, maybe, you know, the
Ooh.
kid section. Or teen section, sorry.
I haven't been in that part. I've only gone to like.
I know what you're saying out there. It would possibly it wouldn't be a lot, but there's
Yeah.
space on the wall that people could display their artwork. County, that would be but that would be a collaboration with the county because that is the county that has that space at the moment. So it'd have to be some kind of collaboration with Friends of the Libraries or something like that. But I mean, I'm not saying no, I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
That's just something else that came to my mind.
Yeah, for sure.
And also, we talked about just the fact that we have some empty storefronts currently, and so maybe they'd be willing to let us borrow their space just to draw people in and interest, and I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, yep, that was another thing I saw. It was like another street that was Laura's idea. I'm just saying that when I was in San Pedro, I did notice that in their empty storefronts, they had easels and stands with artists' work on it. Even though it wasn't a gallery, the space was for rent. They, instead of just having these blank windows, they filled it with artwork.
That is cool.
That's smart.
That's so smart. Well, I'm excited about that idea. That'll be fun.
I'm not sure if there's anything else anyone wants to add before I bring up something else. Just for the branding and communication, one of the comments that I had written down is, so the kind of justification there has been the same for the past couple of years. I just was asking, like, is there something that we want to update? Is there any specific initiatives that you guys, have the hopes of taking on in 2027? Of course, that can always change, as priorities change or things comes up. But I don't know if there's anything on that justification list that you would like to.
All right, I will say it for you. Okay. Carey had the great idea. We need signage for our art.
Oh, my God, yeah, I forgot.
I'm not stealing people's idea, but I remember you said we need signage on our art. We've put forth all this effort to get artists and to bring this amazing work to our town, and it's not signed. And also, we need to put it on the website, so if somebody wants to visit North St. Paul, they can realize that we are cosmopolitan, and you can go on an art walk around our town.
Are we talking about, just so I can kind of get a better understanding, like signage, like at the places of the art, explaining it, maybe like the artists and kind of stuff like that?
Yeah,
Okay.
like, why is this here?
Yeah.
You know?
Just like a metal sign installed somewhere.
Exactly, like when you're at, the big snowman, Big Snowy, there's that little like, boop, and I think it's a little faded, but it's got like, Lloyd Kessling built this and whatever. Just something like that, because we don't have anything at the Silver Lake mural that says what it is, or at Tiffany Cannon's mural that says who she is, and being able to celebrate those artists and have, websites or just a QR code linking
When
to
it
the-
was installed, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also so we
Arts
don't lose the
Commission.
history of
Yeah.
the creation of art in our town, so it doesn't just disappear.
Yeah,
No, I think that's perfect.
I'm guessing
And
it's more than $1,000.
Well, yeah. And
But
like,
it's something we would start working on.
Maybe kind of discussion to like kind of figure it out, bring these ideas forth exactly like this, so that by the next meeting, we can kind of start pinning down more exact numbers. But yeah,
I don't know if we're supposed to have money for the parade or not.
I don't think so, since it's a
Okay.
business association
Okay.
thing. I, at least looking at past budgets, it's never seemed like it was a part of it.
That's cool.
But yeah, I don't know who this would be delegated to, but I think figuring out, or like just a general estimate on like, if we're trying to do all this pieces of art this year, some of them, kind of getting like a game plan, I guess, or a general game plan together as to what you guys would like to do and, a general price. Doesn't have to be, again, exact, but just, kind of sounds like it might be more than 1,000 if you want to do everything, but if it's just a couple things, yeah. But yeah, no, I think that's a great idea.
Jordan, Jordan, I have a secret. It's on my list, but I have not remembered to do it. So I can do that. I don't know why I said it so weird. Sorry.
You're tired.
And it's my fault. I didn't do this.
I do like the idea of doing it all,
Yeah.
that we have done at once. And then we set aside money in the future to add any new art gets that signage when it happens. Because I would hate to have to make the decision what gets a name this year and who
Yeah.
continues to be nameless. That would be hard.
Also, before it's lost in memory, and the people aren't on the commission who remembers, this is why this happened, this is what it is, this is what it's about, and, this is what we want the community to get out of this work of art.
Yeah.
And I guess one question I would have is, are we talking mural art? Are we talking the wraps on the electrical boxes as
I would-
well?
Yeah, because if you walk down Minneapolis, those utility box wraps have an actual picture of the artist and a QR code that links to the
Okay.
whole Minneapolis utility box thing.
Okay.
I didn't talk to you about that, but, because we have to find a place on all the utility boxes where
Right.
that works.
Yeah.
So it might cover up a little bit of the art, but I think just
That's
having-
okay.
One option that we may be able to present would be, could we do like a map? That would include, utility box here, here's information about the artist, and link to their bio, kind of thing like that.
Well,
Instead-
Sharon
and-
mentioned kind of like.
Instead of having information there or, something like that. Given that some of the stuff is already in place and it may be harder to find a spot to add.
If we were going to do that, though, I would still recommend a plaque of some sort to number them, just like our houses are numbered. Some of our houses, I guess, but mine are a little old and cracked. But something too, once you're there, you're like, oh gosh, now I don't remember where I am. And the people that don't know North St. Paul aren't gonna know what cross streets and
Yeah, I would just like something at each. I mean, and I think that you're imagining a more dramatic plaque than I am, because I see even with the utility boxes, it can just be a sticker like this
Yeah.
big on the bottom that says, this was by John Smith, and have a QR code. But it's nice if an artist is acknowledged at their art.
The reason why I was thinking of the I don't know what that's called. Boop. The what?
You call it
Boop. Yeah. Okay, when that guy applied for the Silver Lake mural, Tom was very enamored with how he talked about Silver Lake. He came to Silver Lake, he sat there and spent an afternoon, his family played in the park, he noticed all of the birds and the foliage and everything working together, and he wrote it very well. And so being able to include that and be like, hey, look, this is your city commission, and we chose this artist because he cares as much about this park as we do about our citizens. You know, I think that would be worthy of putting on a larger plaque that's next to it, because I don't know. But like for the utility boxes, I was with you. I'm just like a little sticker that says who the artist is, paid for by the Arts Commission, here's more info.
Yeah. Oh, and also the one side of that particular mural on the building, it's plain.
Yes.
And we can put a plaque right on the building right there.
Right on there. Oh my gosh,
And
Sharon, you're so
those
smart.
kind of plaques, because I've been looking into them, it's not hugely expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not talking about getting a fancy brass thing like is on the library downtown St. Paul. Not that level, just something that can survive the weather.
And not everyone's getting an obelisk.
That's only for the 45th parallel.
Only for the 45th
Hey, that is a
And that is
unique
worthy
geographical
of it.
feator. Not everybody is a geography nerd and map nerd. I understand, but I'm excited about that.
We all are. Sharon.
Like Sharon had mentioned something like an art walk, kind of like connecting the two as far as like having a map. Like, are there any availability on the city website? So like if we do work to do a QR code that sends them to something, like, is that something the city, is there a cost to us? Is that available to do?
I don't believe there's a cost. Ava does most of the editing on the website, and from my impression, it's we have kind of free reign over it. I'd have to double check with her to make sure, but yeah, that's definitely something I can follow up with.
Okay.
Most likely, you're just gonna have to add another landing page and then the content on it, because I used to do the website for
Oh, great.
our company, and I just added whatever I wanted when I wanted.
Because I love the idea of like giving the artist credit, and plus like an art walk would be really cool.
Yeah.
Ideas. And get people out and about in the community and.
Okay, I have one question on this budget. So the budget with the blue line on the top, was that what we proposed for 2026?
Yes, that was the budget proposal, so this is what we're looking to do for 2027, essentially is what this looks like.
Because then when I'm looking at the budget report, we also have $4,000 for art night.
Yes, so that is because that's on Ava's budget for events. I kind of want to look into getting that back on our budget, just because for transparency, at least for accounting for me, it'd be a lot easier. But yeah, that is why that is.
Okay, that was really confusing me. Thank you. Budget report looks great.
One of the things I wanted to bring up with murals that, again, were some of my thoughts I was having when I was thinking about this beforehand, is that from my understanding that the $12,000 is budgeted out for 2 murals, $6,000 each is what I had understood is why that number was that way. I think it'd be worthwhile considering maybe pivoting on that number, just because I don't think 2 murals, I'm not sure if with the amount of projects the commission has currently, I'm not sure I have the capacity to do 2, as well as working with third parties. I think that's pretty much what the reality is with the murals right now, is that we're gonna have to use a third party outside of the city. It's a bit slower. But also I understand that $6,000, I don't know, but it might be a little low. for one mural, I think it might be worthwhile doing some research onto, and it's kind of hard, right? Because depending on the size, it's going to change. This is something I forgot to say at the beginning is that, you know, if projects do end up costing more, there is always the option of the commission going to city council, explaining why this is costing more. It's not set in stone. Because I mean, I think it's fair to say we budgeted $10,000 for a mural. It's a lot bigger than we thought it'd be. This is why we're asking for this much more.
That's really helpful to know. I thought
Yeah.
we were like trapped in what we had.
Always able to, as long as you're able to go to council and kind of just justify why, and they approve, that's an option. So again, I'm not looking for like concrete decisions right now, but this is just kind of where my thoughts were going, is that I think it's more appropriate to budget for one mural. I think $6,000 may be a little low. I think 8 to 10 might be more of an accurate number, especially if we plan on doing big murals bigger than what has been currently done. I would like to do research on it and ask some cities. I'm a little bit kind of pinched for time right now, especially with the car show coming up. A lot of food vendors to process right now and other questions being asked. So I will do my best, but if anybody can also,
I don't think you need to, because we did, when we did the last call for the historical, I mean, what do you think? Do you think she should, I mean, I feel like we know, we have a general sense. People were telling us, you know, they applied for the Historical Society or like really well-known muralists were like, this is just slightly under what we could do
Yeah,
it for.
they
But I
need
think
it
you're
more.
exactly right, Jordan. I think it all depends on size, you know, and that's why we had the two, hopefully two for 6,000 each. But we wanted to have that flexibility in there, knowing that, you know, it's been kind of a difficult pull to get people to align with us in doing it. So I would take that off your list of all the things you have to do, because I hear what you're saying. Look at adjusting the mural line item for next year. And we can talk about that and look at that. What do you think, Sharon?
Well, here I go, selling
All right, let's
lawyerly.
go.
It depends.
Of course.
We just never know what opportunities we're going to have. Like this year, we didn't have anything lined up in advance. We're pivoting towards the monument in lieu of the mural. So that's our mural, is the monument. And next year, we're already looking at a mural possibility. And if they're considering the entire site of the building, that's very spendy. But then if we decide to paint the bathrooms at another park, then we're not looking at quite such an expense. And I think it's a logical amount, and I think I prefer to keep it, but what I would say with this caveat, that if we see that the murals are not lining up by June, to light a fire to either do more utility boxes, to have the freedom to say, well, this is not turning out, or we're only gonna get this small mural, or we're gonna just do the bus benches or something like that. So then to have us push to do other work and to make other positive changes for the community with those funds.
But not something new that Jordan has to research and.
No,
start
nothing
from
that's gonna
zero.
consume your time.
Just only things that would fit within your,
Yeah, something that would fit within what we would ordinarily do.
does that seem reasonable?
Does that sound logical?
are you thinking like, like by June this year, if we don't have like a mural kind of thing, potential lined up, that would be like, you would pivot?
We'd pivot early enough that it would allow time to do something else.
Okay.
With the money.
Yeah.
We already do, just more of it.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think we're trying
But
this year to do
yeah,
that.
we've already pivoted this year with the
Obelisk.
obelisk. Yes. The monument for the 45th parallel. So, so that kind of thing. So we didn't have anybody, we had no connections, whatever. That seemed like a good go of doing a historical marker this year.
I would probably have to talk to Ken just to get confirmation on, if that's like kind of something we can proceed with, but I can see that working out.
Yeah. But in previous years, we just didn't have that mindset. We were just like singularly focused on who can we hunt down for a mural?
Yeah, yeah.
And instead of having just that singular focus, we go at it hard from January to June. If we can't line somebody up, then we pivot to another known entity presented to you through email, like you and I have been working on already this year. And then you can say, hey, they've come with this, then we bring it back here, say it publicly, so the public knows what's happening, and then proceed with that art. Because I feel like we're getting more tight in our ability to make things happen.
Agreed. I mean, that whole first year of this commission, it was just, what the heck are we doing? And let's put some parameters around it. So it feels like we're finally getting, like, our legs under us and having your support, Jordyn, and the work that you're doing, and being able to say, okay, we know every year this is what, you know, the general idea of what we're gonna do. But the bottom line is we're gonna try to make the best decisions we can for this city and bringing more art and culture to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool, all right, so.
Thank you.
For the budget, when we're planning it, could you let me know about whether the art night should be included here, or if that's Ava's?
Yes, I can,
I guess it doesn't matter, we can figure it out, but,
I think the 4,000 was a decent number for this
Yeah.
year.
we still gotta figure out that, yeah.
But yeah, I think that one was, I didn't have any real comments on that.
Yeah. I think we're doing all right, the rest of it though, right? Anybody else got concerns?
No.
And it does sound like you have a good lead for a mural next year anyway, so
Yeah.
you wouldn't want to mess with that money at this point.
Everything
Preemptively,
takes
yeah.
longer than you think it should,
Yeah.
so we're just doing our best over here. Okay, so we're good with music in the parks, big truck night, can't wait. Arts Festival, gonna be great, fall around it parade. And Holly Jolly night, all right, cool. Old business. Do we have anything old? No? Okay, reports from staff.
I think my only question is, where is this page? So I think I explained last meeting, but just to refresh that with the Kids Create, in the art night budgets, like why I didn't want to combine them was because technically they're two different budget codes, because art night is Ava's budget, art cart is on our budget, so they're drawing from two different things. I had asked for direction on where the Kids Create money should come from. I got the art cart. Turns out that it over budgeted on the art cart by $95.31. That budget code has already gone through your guys' budget, like those contracts have already gone through your guys' budget, so I guess I'm looking for direction on where that $95.31 should go that isn't from the art night budget.
Can we, branding and communication?
For doing
Yeah, I mean, I've,
signage, yeah, might as well.
that is what everyone, that sounds good with everyone.
Do we have to vote on it?
Yes, because we're reallocating budget, don't we vote on that?
Yeah, I think it would be safest to do
All right.
that.
I move to use branding and communication budget.
Second,
All those in favor?
aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Whoop, whoop.
Great job, guys.
And that was it for me.
Whew, look at us go. All right, reports from commissioners. Laura,
I have no updates.
Aliza,
No
me
updates?
neither. Sharon,
No.
all right, Ashley, Troy.
City council meeting last night, we had an update from we had our 2025 audit results. City came in really well. Our goal is to maintain at least half of our previous year's budget in our general fund, and we are at 67% of that, so we are fiscally doing well as a city. Audit-wise, there were a couple of findings, but nothing major. So everything went well there.
I mean, don't they have to say something every time?
Yeah, they have to find something
Well, we have to,
to justify the fact that they're doing it.
yeah,
Exactly.
that was an expenditure, so we needed to get something back.
The other thing that we had, that we discussed was alleyways. It was a big discussion item about what responsibility the city should have in regards to paving alleyways, if somebody wants to pave an alleyway. Not that it pertains to this commission at all, but it's an open discussion that we will continue to have and try and figure out like what is the direction the city wants to take. Currently, we don't have a ton of policies around it, so it's kind of a new thing for us to figure out. So,
How many people ended up having garage sales?
I want to say there were 40 something like that. There were quite a few.
Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe it. Every time I drove somewhere, it was like 13 more signs I saw.
Yeah, city garage sales went really well, and then I will applaud Ava for, and city staff, for doing the Trash to Treasure Day the following, day, or on Sunday. So much stuff went away.
Oh, that's
So we had a garage sale at our house, and it went really well, and then everything that didn't, well, most things that didn't sell, plus a few things, we set out at the curb and are gone now. So, my hope is that, and reminder, this weekend is the city cleanup day. Reminder that it is, there is a fee this year, cash or check only, no cards, only open to North St. Paul residents. They are going to do 2 lines again, try and streamline things, but my hope is that because of Trash to Treasure Day, a lot of the stuff that people had that they were going to have to dispose of went away. I know that was the case for me. So, yeah, hopefully it will be not as busy this year.
I hope that's an annual thing, because that was really cool to see.
I think,
some of their
I think given the success of it, I think it will be.
stuff. Oh, that's cool.
So, and then the future of the city cleanup day is kind of an open question, just in regards to now that we are also reviewing solid waste providers. What will they provide in terms of, will they continue to do something like this? Or do we want to revisit going back to solid waste pickup, throughout the year? You can just set things out whenever you want. So that's another open question that we're trying to figure out is what is the right answer there and what's the best for the residents?
Are you allowed to disclose the top 2 trash people you're looking at?
I cannot.
Okay.
I just don't want to.
We have secrets too.
I have a secret. No, and that is it. So, other than my son is graduating from University of Minnesota Duluth this weekend, so.
That is huge.
That's a big deal. What's the status of the chlorine in the water? Was I not supposed to ask that?
As of the beginning of this month, so I want to say it has been about 10 days. The city stopped chlorinating the water. The issue, I don't want to say issue, the holdup was we wanted to flush the entire water system. And so because it was still cold, we can't really flush the hydrants and things like that. So we were finally able to get around to flushing all the hydrants. And we didn't want to, I will say, we didn't want to flush the hydrants until we also cleared the streets. Because we didn't want to run the hydrants and then have it just wash the debris and everything down into the storm drains, and that creates other issues. So we wanted to get the street sweeping done and then get the hydrants flushed. Now that the hydrants are all flushed, we did stop chlorinating the water, I want to say, right around the beginning of the month. The plan is to let it sit 10 days, a week and a half-ish, have the State Department come back out, or State Department of Health or whoever, come back out, test the water, and see what the results come back at. And so I think that is that test is going to happen this week, and then we will see what the results of that test are.
Fantastic. Well, I drink the city water, and I am fine, everyone, so. And everybody knows, well, I get sick all the time, and so don't worry about it. I just was curious about it.
Oh, yeah, and again, I will reiterate that even when we were chlorinating the water, the water was safe to drink, the color of the water and everything. We had somebody come out, personally, we had somebody come out to our house to look at our water heater or something, just like an annual inspection thing. And they do a lot of work in the city, and so I asked him, I said, have you had a lot of complaints from people in the city about their water and things like that? And he said, oh, yeah, we have. We've had a lot of people saying, that things are, or smell really, or chlorine, a lot of chlorine smell and things like that. And I said, well, this is what's going on, and this is why. And I told him that about the fluoride that we have to put in the water, and he seemed really surprised that we have to fluorinate, that we have to put fluoride in the water. But that is a state or a federal policy that we have to do that. So,
But, no, the water has been fine. I just was curious as what was going on, because it was such a big deal it was on Facebook and everything, so.
yeah, and once, like I said, once we get the results back from those tests, then we will.
Okay, fantastic, thank you.
Yes. Liza, you were going to say something, it looked like?
I was going to say, unless we have any more stuff pertaining to the Arts Council, could we maybe I make a move to like adjourn our meeting? Am I allowed to do that in Robert's rules?
I just wanted to let Jordan have a chance, because I think
Sounds
she's the
good.
last person.
Oh.
Jordan, any updates for you? Oh, no, nothing for me. Great, we'll adjourn.
All right. Yay.
We'll have fun at graduation, Troy.
Yeah, congratulations.
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you.
Yanks and see that.